Why spiritual awakening always begins with a crisis. Second episode of the series, the 7 signs you're going through a spiritual awakening and your life is about to change. The truth that no one tells you that if you're watching this video, it is no coincidence. Perhaps you're going through a period where everything seems to be falling apart, where every relationship, every project, every certainty seems to be leaving you, and you're asking yourself, why me? Why now? The truth is, this chaos is no accident. What you call a collapse is actually a sign that your spiritual awakening is beginning. And what you're about to discover in the next few minutes could change your view of pain, loneliness, and change forever. Sometimes, pain feels like an unwelcome guest, sudden, overwhelming, and impossible to ignore. But what if pain is not just something to endure, but a doorway to something deeper? For many, the journey towards spiritual awakening begins in the heart of suffering. When life becomes difficult, we are forced to question, to reflect, and to seek meaning beyond the surface. Think of the moments when you felt lost or broken. Often, these are the times when we discover new strength, compassion, or clarity. Pain can strip away illusions, revealing what truly matters. In this way, pain is not just a burden. It can be a catalyst. It invites us to grow, to awaken, and to see life from a new perspective. Sometimes, transformation begins not with a gentle nudge, but with a collapse. Like a flower that must wilt before it blooms again, or a forest that needs fire to spark new growth. Our personal crises often mark the true starting point of spiritual awakening. The crisis is not a collapse. It is a controlled demolition. When everything familiar falls apart, we are forced to look within, to question, and to rebuild. In these moments of darkness, the seeds of change are quietly planted, waiting for the light to return. In the journey of awakening, crisis often arrives like a purifying fire. It burns away the illusions we cling to, stripping us of false beliefs and outdated identities. In the heat of this inner blaze, what is untrue cannot survive. Only what is real and essential remains. Through this process, we are prepared for true growth. The pain of crisis is not meant to destroy us, but to clear the path so that something new, authentic, and luminous can emerge from the ashes. Before the light of awakening can shine, we must first descend into our own shadows. This journey means facing the parts of ourselves we often hide, our fears, doubts, and unresolved pain. It is in this darkness that we confront what holds us back. Only by acknowledging and embracing our inner darkness can we begin to transform it. The descent into shadow is not a sign of failure, but a courageous step toward true spiritual growth. Sometimes, it's pain that becomes a spark for real transformation. When we experience discomfort, loss, or confusion, it forces us to question our lives and our choices. This pain, though difficult, is often a catalyst that pushes us out of our comfort zones and into a journey of self-discovery. Embracing discomfort is essential. Instead of running from pain, we can choose to see it as a teacher, guiding us toward growth and deeper understanding. True change rarely happens when everything is easy. It's in the moments of struggle that we find the strength to evolve. In the midst of a spiritual crisis, solitude becomes more than just being alone. It transforms into a sacred space, a sanctuary where we can truly meet ourselves. Away from the noise and expectations of the world, we are invited to listen deeply to our own hearts. In this quiet, we find the courage to face our fears, to process our pain, and to rediscover our inner light. Solitude is not isolation. It is a gentle embrace, a time for healing and transformation. Here, in the sacred space of solitude, the journey of awakening truly begins. In many spiritual traditions, the desert is more than just a barren landscape. It is a powerful metaphor for isolation, a place stripped of distractions, where we are left alone with our thoughts and our deepest fears. In this emptiness, something remarkable happens. With nothing to cling to, we are forced to confront ourselves. The silence of the desert becomes a mirror, reflecting our true nature back to us. Illusions and old beliefs begin to dissolve, just like a mirage vanishing in the heat. What remains is clarity, a revelation that can only emerge from solitude. The desert, in all its harshness, becomes a sacred space. It is here, in the heart of isolation, that the seeds of awakening are sown and true transformation begins. During a crisis, much of the transformation happens beneath the surface, unseen yet deeply felt. This is the invisible preparation. While the outside world may see only struggle or confusion, inside, something profound is taking place. Old beliefs are questioned, emotions are stirred, and the mind quietly begins to search for meaning. Like seeds growing in the dark, our spirit prepares for awakening in silence and uncertainty. This hidden work is essential. It lays a foundation for the transformation to come. Trust the invisible preparation. Even when nothing seems to change, your soul is quietly getting ready for a new beginning. During spiritual transformation, one of the most profound steps is the purge of the mind. This is a process of mental cleansing, letting go of old, limiting beliefs that have shaped our reality for years. As we awaken, we begin to notice the thoughts and patterns that no longer serve us. We question the stories we tell ourselves and gently release the fears, doubts, and judgments that keep us trapped. This mental purification is not always easy. It requires honesty, courage, and patience with ourselves. But as we clear away these mental obstacles, we create space for new perspectives, deeper wisdom, and true inner peace. The mind, once cluttered, becomes a vessel for clarity and spiritual growth. In the midst of the storm, when everything around us seems to be falling apart, there is a subtle whisper, an inner voice, often drowned out by the noise of chaos. It is in these moments of confusion that our intuition tries to make itself heard, guiding our steps toward clarity. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and listen to that quiet breath. It doesn't shout, it whispers, but it knows. By learning to recognize this inner guide, we discover a reliable compass, even in the midst of turmoil. The storm will pass, but the wisdom of that whisper will remain. Fear is often seen as something to avoid, an obstacle on our path. But what if fear is actually a sacred portal, a doorway to deeper understanding and profound growth? When we encounter fear, our instinct is to turn away. Yet, if we choose to face it, to step through that doorway, we discover hidden truths about ourselves. Fear reveals our deepest wounds, but also our greatest potential. By embracing fear, rather than resisting it, we allow ourselves to transform. Each moment of fear becomes an invitation to explore, to heal, and to awaken to new possibilities. In this way, fear is not our enemy, but our sacred guide on the journey of spiritual awakening. The Great Stripping Away is a profound stage on the path of spiritual awakening. It is a process where old identities, beliefs, and attachments begin to fall away, sometimes gently, sometimes all at once. And in the next video, I'll explain why this stage completely changes a person. You may find yourself questioning roles you once clung to, or relationships and possessions that once defined you. This can feel unsettling, even painful, as the familiar dissolves and you are left standing in the unknown. But in this emptiness, there is a hidden gift. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you create space for something deeper and more authentic to emerge. The Great Stripping Away is not about loss, but about rediscovering who you truly are beneath the layers. It is the beginning of true freedom. After the storm of inner turmoil, something unexpected begins to emerge, an unfamiliar sense of calm. This is the arrival of paradoxical peace. It is not the absence of challenges, nor the end of questions, but quiet acceptance that settles deep within. You realize that peace does not mean everything is perfect. Instead, it is the ability to remain centered, even as life continues to move and change around you. This inner stillness coexists with uncertainty, and in that coexistence, you find true freedom. The paradox is clear. By embracing your struggles, you discover serenity that cannot be shaken. This is the peace that follows awakening, a peace born not from escape, but from profound acceptance. Every crisis we face is more than just a challenge. It is a sacred initiation. Like the rites of passage practiced by ancient cultures, our moments of deepest struggle mark the threshold between who we were and who we are becoming. In these moments, we are stripped of old certainties. The crisis demands that we let go of outdated beliefs, habits, and identities so that something new can emerge within us. To walk through crisis is to cross a threshold. It is a rite of passage, a sacred journey that transforms pain into wisdom and fear into courage. On the other side, we discover a new self, more authentic, more awake, and more alive than ever before. Soft, encouraging tone. After the storm of transformation, a new chapter begins. This is the moment to embrace your authentic self, fully, unapologetically, and with love. The journey you've taken has stripped away old masks and revealed the truth of who you are. Now it's time to honor that truth. But here's what no one tells you. During this phase, your brain is literally being reprogrammed. You'll find out more in the next episode. Subscribe to Send the Awakening for more content. Thumbs up like this video to support the channel. Speech balloons, share your opinion or experience in the comments.